Finally, after 21 episodes, we get some insights into our main antagonist, Talulah. I mean, honestly, it's not really our main antagonist. I mean, it seems like Ursus is really our main antagonist, but one of our antagonists, Talulah, and what really drives her. To be truthful, it's pretty much playing out as expected. It's the idea of yet another person that's being exploited by Ursus, rising up, and as we already know, making reunion and all that kind of stuff. But it's cool to kind of see Talulah. It's cool to actually see Talulah as just sort of a normal person that's trying to be normal and unfortunately being exploited and eventually just having enough of it. Really having enough of it. And I kind of wonder if it's really having to do with a lot of the villagers and whatnot that she interacted with. Alina, obviously, different people that she's kind of, tempered her heart with. People that did kind of keep her in a sane way, despite having somebody like Kashi who was exploiting her the entire time, trying to drive some sort of evil into her, and seemingly cursing her. I'm assuming the whole split personality thing has something to do with that whole black snake. Could that be the Duke himself, implementing himself into her? I thought for a while there when the episode opened up that possibly Alina was going to be the other self that was inside of her. Obviously implying that Alina was going to die eventually. I'm assuming possibly the next episode when we continue the story. But I was kind of thinking that possibly Alina was in there, and the darker side is Talulah, who has been pushed to the limit. She's had enough. She's gone crazy, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll end up seeing, but yeah, I assume it's probably going to be the Duke. It's going to be that black snake, the thing that's continuously telling her, okay, here's the next step. Okay, Talulah, this is the thing you have to do next. You can't escape what I've kind of drilled into you. It's kind of an interesting little concept there. I'd be curious to find out if it's actually sort of a personality transfer. Like, did he actually implant himself into Talulah through this art that he was, developing for her? Or is it possibly just brainwashing by him? That she has this other personality within herself that is just brainwashing by him, and he doesn't exist anymore because she impaled him. He's gone. It did seem to imply the idea that because she finally attacked him, that was the final piece. Like, finally. It is happening. This is the thing that I've been waiting for. I needed you to kill me with your anger. Oh, yes, the ritual is completed, that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's go to the episode proper. Again, I won't think that it's going to probably have too much to cover in this episode, but I did like the whole segment when Talulah was at the village, though, with Babushka and Alina and I forget the other guy's name. The old man. They call him Jishan. Dadushka. The idea that, again, she was trying to live in this village. It seems like it was a big shocker that she reveals that she's, infected. Everybody's like, yeah, we all knew that you were infected. We knew the moment that we brought you in. Oh, by the way, I'm infected and he's infected and everybody's infected. It's like one of those things where everybody's like keeping a secret that they're infected until like she reveals that she's infected. And then everybody's like, no, we're all infected. I think the only one that wasn't infected was Babushka. I mean, I would assume that eventually she probably will be. But yes, a village of people just trying to kind of keep their head down. But unfortunately, these patrol keep showing up. It was interesting that at first she shows up and she has the Ursus uniform, which I assume that she got that from the Duke. And it seems like she's still wearing it despite the fact that everybody doesn't want her wearing it. So that's kind of an oddity there. I'd assume that, again, the Duke gave it to her and she was a part of the Ursus. She was supposed to kill somebody, but she keeps wearing it despite the fact that she doesn't like them. And it's kind of funny that the entire episode they keep giving like different jokes that she gives, like excuses of why she wears it. I love it when she's in front of Frost Nova and she's literally like, yeah, I have a ton of different excuses. Which one do you want? Like, what kind of flavor do you want? I can give you this one right here. Do you want this one? This one's kind of funny. Do you want this one? This excuse is kind of funny. It seems like she's giving excuses to why she's wearing it, but she doesn't like them, but yet she keeps wearing it. I'm kind of curious if it is an element of what the Duke kind of did to her and sort of implanting in that she should be wearing this, even though she doesn't want to wear it. It's an oddity there. I'd be curious if they eventually get into the truth. Like, she keeps giving excuses, and I guess that could be what they're kind of building up into. The idea that she keeps giving people excuses, which are lies, and maybe eventually she'll actually give the true reason to somebody. Yeah, I wear it because of this. It's an oddity there, and I kind of wonder if she wears it just as a sort of a middle finger to Ursus, and just an insult to injury, that you're going to die by the hands of your own people, which is what essentially all the people that are infected are being done to them. Everybody that's infected are your people and you're killing them. Here's a little bit of your own medicine. That would be my assumption is why she does it. But again, it seems like she's just wearing it. She's just wearing it despite the fact that it's going to cause problems. And it's like the whole thing with her protecting the old man. It's like, yes, it's a good thing. She steps out there, protects the guy. It seems like he's on his last leg. He's been infected for so long. It seems like he forgets things. But she steps out there to protect him, knowing full well the soldiers are going to go off, bring back people, and they're going to burn down the village. That's unfortunately kind of a thing that sits up there. I'm glad they didn't immediately go to the idea, Talulah, what the hell did you do? You're going to kill us all. It was really a thing of like, you really shouldn't have done that, but, you know, whatever, let's all come together, and then we'll deal with the circumstances. But that is kind of the same thing. You're bringing ruin to this village by wearing that and, again, attacking the soldiers and all that kind of stuff. But, again, good little insight into her as a character, because a lot of this stuff is, again, the pure hard nature of herself. I kind of wish that they give us a little bit of that time gap between the moment that she, you know, left Lungmen and arrived here. Again, we know that Kashi takes Talulah, and based on their conversation in this episode, he was instilling upon her this art and was training her up to take over a role, and assuming that she was being sent out to take down people. There was apparently this one person that she was sent to go kill, and she took a pity on the child of that person, which I'm kind of curious if that'll come up again later. But yeah, she's been doing this whole role under him, and then eventually she gets injured. Maybe she got in a fight with Kashi. Maybe it was the fight with the guy that she was supposed to take down, and she got injured, and this village brought her in. Once she got recovered, she went back home to Kashi, and then that's the point where she killed him. That's why my assumption is that the timeline plays out. The gap is really kind of seeing where she developed this personality, because she has a fun personality. She seems very down to earth, hanging out with them, making jokes and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of wonder if a lot of that was developed while she was staying at this village, you know, having these people that were taking care of her. Like, literally, it lays it out as Babushka pretty much, and Dadushka. Both of them treat them as their children. These are my daughters, and we're taking care of them, kind of thing. But technically, she was only there for, like, not even 2 years, as they kind of laid out that she's not been there for 2 farm years. So either way, it was a cool little segment there. Unfortunately, again, ending very darkly, as we kind of assumed. Eventually, the soldiers showing up to get their payback, claim that there was a infected there. And poor Dadushka goes up there to say, hey, yeah, guys, I'm the infected guy. You got what you wanted. And that's what wasn't what they were after. They were after Talulah. And so they just stab him. And she sees it, goes crazy, burns down everything. And this is where we're kind of establishing what Talulah, again, creates, which is reunion. From this point on, she wants to put an end to this stuff, is sick of these people coming and toying with their lives. She knows full well that if they keep kind of running away, these people will keep plundering them, keep stealing from them, keep killing them, that somebody needs to do something. Now, it does seem like initially it does lay out that she wants to take them down. I'm just going to straight up kill these individuals because they're going to keep coming after us. But it seems like through Alina, she wants to sort of help her establish a foundation. You can't just go rushing in there. You can't just go in there and get your revenge. You're going to have the military police come in. You're going to have the military themselves come in. The armies come in. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger. So it seems like from here, she establishes, okay, we want to build a foundation. We want to build a group of people, you know, help these individuals, give them a safe place to be. And it doesn't seem like initially it is about the idea of creating an army. It really doesn't seem like it is the current reunion that we have. The reunion that seems like it's building is the idea of just giving a safe haven to individuals so they can eventually rise up and claim independence is really what it seems like. It's not an aspect of creating an army, it's creating just their own country where they can feel safe and people won't just come in there willy-nilly and attack them. And I think that's kind of, again, a positive sort of light to give to Talulah, which will seemingly eventually end in somebody coming and attacking them anyways. Or just coming in and attacking them anyways. Them being wiped out somehow anyways. And then Talulah will finally say that's enough is enough. Let's go take it to their doorstep. They keep taking it to our doorstep. Let's take it to their doorstep. The other possibility, and this is the curiosity that I have, if it won't be them being attacked by Ursus, but simply the Black Snake. This curse that's placed upon her, suddenly at that point, she does snap. And she thinks that Ursus is still coming after them. I'm more thinking probably both. I think it's going to probably end up being both. Somebody's going to attack them, and the curse is going to kick in, and she's going to lose it. But it also, of course, develops the idea that how much Talulah means to everybody. They trust her. She's very strong. She's very smart, obviously, from her time, serving under the Duke. She knows a lot about the layout and the different, nations, the nobles, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people really do put their trust in her. But anyways, once the village burns down, we get the little brief scene where we do see that Talulah is confronting Kashi, and Kashi pretty much says that he's been instilling upon her all these arts. Again, a lot of emphasis here that he, claims them to be their daughters, and she doesn't want to accept that. I never signed up to be your daughter. What the hell are you talking about? No, we're cut from the same cloth. And again, eventually leading into sort of him pointing out how she has these weaknesses, that she needs to put those aside, and eventually leading into her getting angry, rising up against him, and then, again, him claiming that that is sort of the final piece. It seems like this is something that he expected at some point, that her anger would build up to the point where she would take him down. Now, he does say you're full of anger and that's, the perfect time, but she claims that she won't hate him, thus not allowing this sort of curse to happen. He wants her to hate him, and she's not doing that. I think she hates him, but she's claiming she's not hating him. But it seems to imply that is sort of the last piece of the puzzle for this curse. So that does kind of lead me to believe that it won't be until later on when something horrible happens to the reunion or towns that she's developing, that will be the point in which this curse will finally hit her, and it will basically lead to her being taken over. He says, when you finally acknowledge me, my arts will slowly eat away at you. You will become me. Then Ursus will be in your hands. The black snake shall walk with you always. Again, it feels like there is an element of finally accepting him, accepting that hate. The curse activates, and then by his prophecy, it seems like you will be able to have all the power you need in order to go right in there and take down Ursus and take it over. And that seems, again, like what is currently playing out to be, is Talulah rising up to power, going after Lungmen, probably eventually going after Ursus and all that kind of stuff. Which is funny, because right now it seems like she's sort of working with Ursus, so I guess she could be seeing that as sort of a stepping stone for that process of taking it over, to work with Ursus until she can eventually go in there and take it over. Yeah, that's like the whole start of the whole process of building up her group. I kind of like the first initial group that she runs into, the idea that she immediately points out to the people, infected, rise up, stand up, be proud of who you are, don't cower. These individuals are not afraid of what the infected will do or the catastrophes they cause. They're just looking for excuses to, torture you, put you through hell, and manipulate you. It's just an element of, that's what you're kind of used to, being afraid of these individuals. Just stand up. And yeah, offering them both the fact that she has a place to take them to, and additionally kind of training to be able to fight back. But even still, again, having that moment where, she goes to this one abandoned city, they're going to take it over, but she's not at this point, sacrificing lives. She has all these individuals that are willing to rush in there right then and there, but she's obviously being tactful in the idea of, well, no, we have plenty of people, but we haven't taken over a stronghold. We'll leave it to the Aegis. It's this element where she could essentially send them in there, but she does care for the lives of the individuals around her, despite them being infected and all this kind of stuff. She's very much so opposite to what she currently is. It's a very stark contrast kind of look into who she is. But yeah, and eventually meets Frostnova. Offers Frostnova they could work together. She's like, why are you wearing the outfit? Again, I have a whole bunch of excuses. Which one do you want? You want this right here? This one's on sale. This one's a really good one. Good little moment there. And again, her denying her, but then saying I can melt the ice. And yeah, busting out her flame and them having a quick attack before she melts her blade. But yeah, eventually inviting Frostnova to join their cause to make a better future for the infected. Really cool. Again, really cool little insight into Talulah. I think the next part's probably gonna be a more juicier bit, kind of seeing where it goes from this very chippery Talulah into a very kind of closed off and cold and broken Talulah. What sort of is the trigger for that? And I'm assuming a lot of that's probably gonna be Elena. They're really setting up Elena to be the cute little girl that's next to her that's eventually gonna get killed, and then it's just gonna be the breaking point for Talulah. But we'll see. But yeah, pretty decent episode overall. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content and want to support the channel more, become a member of the channel. Until next time, y'all take care.